Some places hold on to the past, not in photographs or memories, but in ways no one can explain. A hotel where guests wake up with stories that were never theirs to tell. A place where the walls remember, even when people forget. Tonight, we uncover the case of a woman who spent one night inside a hotel that has terrified visitors for over a century. She arrived alone. She checked in. But by morning, she was no longer the same. This is the story of the Blackwood Hotel and the woman who stepped inside only to leave as someone else. A forgotten hotel buried in history, yet never truly abandoned. The Blackwood Hotel, a name whispered among those who seek the unexplained. Some call it cursed. Others believe it's a doorway to something no one should ever disturb. For over a century, guests have checked in, only to leave with memories they cannot explain. Some speak of waking up in rooms they never entered. Others recall voices whispering secrets they were never meant to hear. And a few never leave the same. One woman decided to uncover the truth. She arrived with nothing but a camera and a mind full of doubt. What she found, what she captured, would change everything. This is her story. The Blackwood Hotel was once a place of luxury. Built in 1903, it stood as a grand retreat for travelers passing through the quiet town of Ravenshade. Its halls were lined with chandeliers, its rooms filled with velvet and gold. But even in its prime, something always felt off. Staff reported strange occurrences, footsteps in empty corridors, locked doors swinging open in the middle of the night. Guests whispered about a presence, something unseen but always watching. And then, in 1936, Room 306 changed everything. A woman was found inside, no signs of struggle, no forced entry, just her, sitting upright in a chair, eyes open, as if she had seen something no one else could. The cause of death? Unknown. After that, things escalated. The hotel changed hands multiple times. New owners came and went, each one leaving sooner than the last. By the late 1950s, Blackwood had earned a reputation, one that no amount of renovation could erase. Yet, despite the warnings, people still came, some out of curiosity, some searching for proof of the paranormal, and some simply made the mistake of booking a room without knowing what waited for them inside. Anna Carter was one of them. Anna Carter wasn't a believer. She had spent years investigating so-called haunted locations, always walking away unimpressed. To her, the Blackwood Hotel was just another old building with a ghost story attached. But that was before she stepped inside. She arrived just before sunset. The lobby was empty, too empty. No staff, no guests, just a single key waiting for her at the front desk. Room 306. From the moment she crossed the threshold, something felt wrong. The air was thick, heavy. The kind of quiet that isn't peaceful, it's expectant, as if the walls themselves were holding their breath. Her first mistake was ignoring the signs. Inside, the room was unremarkable. Faded floral wallpaper, a dusty mirror, a single bed pushed against the wall. But there was something else, something she couldn't quite place. A feeling, an absence of something that should be there. She shook it off, set up her camera, began recording. The first few hours were uneventful. She spoke into the camera, took notes, even laughed at the so-called haunted history of the place. Then, just past midnight, her footage cut out. When it came back, she was no longer where she had been. The door to her room was locked. From the inside, she hadn't locked it. Then came the sound, a whisper, faint but clear enough to understand. 3 words. "You are home." Anna Carter stood frozen. The hallway stretched ahead of her, dimly lit, impossibly silent. The door to room 306, her door, was locked from the inside. That was when she heard it again. A whisper, closer this time, right at her ear. "You are home." She tried to move, but something felt off. The air was colder, the walls different. Her camera, still recording, flickered. When the screen stabilized, her reflection in the hallway mirror wasn't moving. She wasn't alone. Panic set in. She turned away from the mirror only to realize the hallway wasn't the same. The wallpaper was older, peeling in large strips. The carpet beneath her feet was damp, and the hotel was no longer empty. She ran. Down the hall, past doors that shouldn't be open, past whispers that grew into voices. The numbers on the rooms no longer made sense. 201, 504, 112, repeating over and over, as if the building itself was shifting around her. And then she saw it. Room 306. The door was open now, waiting for her. The moment she crossed the threshold, the door slammed shut. The camera cut to black. When the footage returned, Anna was sitting in the chair, motionless, eyes open, just like the woman in 1936. The next morning, hotel staff found Anna Carter sitting in the chair of room 306, eyes open, unmoving, breathing, but barely responding. She was taken to a hospital, physically unharmed, but when asked what had happened that night, she gave only one response: "I don't remember checking out." Since that night, Anna has refused to speak about what she saw inside the Blackwood Hotel. Friends say she isn't the same. She no longer films. She no longer travels. And sometimes, she wakes up in places she doesn't remember falling asleep. Room 306 remains open. Guests still check in, and though many leave without incident, some wake up with memories that don't belong to them. Would you spend the night? The Blackwood Hotel still stands. Room 306 still welcomes guests, and every so often someone leaves changed. But what really happened to Anna Carter? Was it all in her mind, or was something waiting for her inside? Tell us what you think in the comments below. Would you spend a night in room 306? If you enjoyed this story, check out our playlist of haunted encounters, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because some stories are meant to be heard, but never forgotten.